Hello, Classroom 6. I hope everybody is well today. Of course, you know we've been working on a new letter this week. We had such a fun day. We had some fun stuff going on this week. We wore pajamas and we had pizza and we made all kinds of cool crafts like pandas and porcupines. And we talked all about what letter was that? What letter was that? If you said P, you're right. Uppercase, lowercase, and of course this color starts with it. Maybe you could write your letter P's with that color. What is it? It's pink. Or you could use purple. Let's try it again. Lying down, you jump up, just one bump. And the lowercase looks just like it, only smaller. Letter P. And yesterday we talked all about letter P. And when I showed you a whole bunch of my letter P books, one of my friends was so excited because she had the same book. That's the story we're going to read today. Before we do that, though, let's not forget, we need to add another number. Look at us winging through February. Oh my goodness. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh my goodness. Pink or red is 24. Pink or red? Did you say red? You're right. 24 is red. So when you look at 24, today is February 24th, 2021. And if we go straight up, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. So it's Wednesday of letter P. And I told this friend, Lily, that I'm going to read this story. She has the same story at her house. I love it. You might too. Maybe someone at home could read this to you again. So, you ready? This is called Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. That's a lot of letter P's. Check that out. 1, 2, 3 letter P's. Oh my goodness. There's actually more. There's another one. Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. Lily loved school. I think she does. She loved the pointy pencils. She loved the squeaky chalk. And she loved the way her boots went clickety-click-click down the long, shiny hallways. Lily loved the privacy of her very own desk. She loved the fish sticks and chocolate milk every Friday in lunch. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mrs. Slinger. Mrs. Slinger was sharp as a tack. That means she's real smart. Mr. Slinger, it's a man. He wore artistic shirts. He wore glasses on a chain around his neck, and he wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. Wow, said Lily. That was just about all she could say. Wow. Instead of greetings, students, or good morning, pupils, Mr. Slinger would wink. Do you know what that is? It's like that. And say, howdy. He thought that desks and rows were old-fashioned and boring. Do you rodents think you can handle a semicircle? You know what that is? That's a half a circle. Wow. He always provided the most tasty snacks, things that were curly and crunchy and cheesy, kind of like Miss Katie does. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lily. Me too, said her friends, Chester and Wilson and Victor. Oh, look at all her friends. At home, Lily pretended to be Mr. Slinger. I'm the teacher, she told her baby brother. Listen up. Lily wanted her own set of deluxe picture encyclopedias. Oh my goodness. What's with Lily? Asked her mother. I thought she wanted to be a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva, said her father. It must be because of her new teacher, Mr. Slinger, said mother. Wow, said her father. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Whenever the students had free time, they were allowed to go to the light bulb lab in the back of the classroom. They expressed their ideas creatively through drawing and writing, and Lily went there often. She had lots of ideas. She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger and she wrote stories about him too. During sharing time, Lily showed her creations to the entire class. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Wow, she wrote all kinds of nice stuff about her teacher. And when Mr. Slinger had bus duty, Lily stood in line even though she didn't ride the bus. Lily raised her hand more than anybody else in the class, even if she didn't know the answer. She volunteered to stay after school to clap erasers. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lily. Excellent choice, said Mr. Slinger. One Monday morning, Lily came to school especially happy. She had gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. Oh, how lucky. Lily had a new pair of movie star sunglasses, complete with glittery diamonds, and a chain like Mr. Slinger's. She had 3 shiny quarters. Wow. And best of all, she had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune whenever it was opened. It plays music when you open it. How cool. Lily wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Listen to our story. Oh, Lily had a hard time listening. Lily really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Let's be considerate of our classmates. Lily had a really hard time being considerate. Lily really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Wait until recess or sharing time. But Lily just couldn't wait. The glasses were so glittery, the quarters were so shiny, and the purse played such nice music. Not to mention how excellent it was for storing school supplies. Look, Lily whispered too fiercely. Look, everyone, look what I've got. Everyone looked, including Mr. Slinger, and he was not amused. I think she might be in trouble. I'll just keep your things at my desk until the end of the day, said Mr. Slinger. They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her quarters were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. Lily longed for her purse all morning. She was even too sad to eat its snack. Mr. Slinger served snack before recess. That afternoon, Lily went to the light bulb lab. She was still very sad. She thought and she thought and she thought. And then she became angry. She thought and she thought and she thought some more. And then she became furious. Do you know what that means? That means really angry. And she thought and she thought and she thought a bit longer. And then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. I wonder what the picture looks like. Right before the last bell rang, Lily sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. Do you see this poster? It says big fat mean Mr. Stealing teacher with claws and that he's bad and she does not want to be a teacher when she grows up. Wasn't that very nice? It was a mean picture of her teacher. When all the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over to Lily and gave her back her purple plastic purse. It's a beautiful purse, said Mr. Slinger. Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those glasses are absolutely fabulous. You may bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up, Lily said as she marched out of the classroom. Oh, sounds like she's still angry. On the way home, Lily opened her purse. Her glasses and her quarters were inside, and so was a note from Mr. Slinger. And it said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." There was also a small bag of tasty snacks at the bottom of the purse. He gave her a snack. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. She felt simply awful. Why do you think she feels bad? Do you remember what she did? Lily ran all the way home and she told her mother and her father everything. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lily decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. Sounds like a timeout. That night, Lily drew a new picture of Mr. Slinger and wrote a story about him, too. Lily was really, really sorry, so everyone forgave her, even her parents, even her stinky baby brother, even her especially incredible teacher. And then the sun shined its smiley face down on everyone and everything, even the bugs and the worms. That's her story. The end. That's pretty nice. And it shows a nice picture of Mr. Slinger. Lily's mother wrote a note, and Lily's father baked some tasty snacks for Lily to take to school the next day. I think Mr. Slinger will understand, said Lily's mother. I know he will, said Lily's father. The next morning, Lily got to school early. These are for you, Lily said to Mr. Slinger, because I'm really, 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 really sorry. That was the right thing to do. Mr. Slinger read the story, and he looked at the picture, and he read the note, and he sampled the snacks. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Did she do the right thing? She sure did. What do you think we should do with this? Asked Mr. Slinger. We could just throw it away, said Lily. Excellent idea, Mr. Slinger said. That was the mean picture. During sharing time, Lily demonstrated the many uses and unique qualities of her purple plastic purse, her shiny quarters, and the glittery movie star glasses. Then she did a little performance using them as props. It's called interpretive dance, said Lily. Mr. Slinger joined in. Wow, said the entire class. That was just about all they could say. Wow. Turned out that purse was pretty useful. Throughout the rest of the day, Lily's purse and quarters and sunglasses were tucked safely inside her desk. She peeked at them often, but she didn't disturb a soul. And right before the last bell, Mr. Slinger served Lily snacks to everyone's delight. What do you want to be when you grow up? Asked Mr. Slinger. A teacher, everybody responded. Lily's response was the loudest. Excellent choice, said Mr. Slinger. As the pupils filed out of the classroom, Lily held her purple plastic purse close to her heart. Mr. Slinger was right. It had been a better day. Lily ran and skipped and hopped and flew all the way home. She was so happy, and she really did want to be a teacher when she grew up. That is, when she didn't want to be a dancer or a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva or a pilot or a hairdresser or a scuba diver. What do you want to be when you grow up? It started with the purple plastic purse. Wasn't it a silly story? I hope you enjoyed that story. I'd like to finish up with a song. There's so many good letter P songs, and this one I thought you guys would enjoy. We've done this before, so join me. Poison ivy.
Poison ivy under bushes.
Under bushes.
Poison ivy under trees.
Under trees.
Poison ivy in the forest. Poison ivy on my knees.
Your knees. Your knees.
Poison ivy makes me scratch, scratch, scratch.
Itch and scratch my knees. Let's see if we can
Poison
figure out
ivy
the
by
next
the
one.
daisy.
Daisy.
Poison ivy by the rose.
Rose.
Poison ivy by the flowers.
What rhymes with
That I
rose?
smelled with my nose.
Your nose.
Poison ivy makes me scratch, scratch, scratch.
Itch and scratch my nose.
Poison ivy on the prairie.
On the prairie.
Poison ivy on the farm.
Farm. What rhymes with
Poison
farm?
ivy on the pastures. Poison ivy on my arm.
My arm.
Poison ivy makes me scratch, scratch, scratch.
Itch and scratch my arm. Let's see. Oh, it made a mistake. Let's see if it'll keep playing. We're going to have to start that song over. That's too good of one to not finish. Let's see. That's a bummer. Let's just do it again. Now you know the song. Poison Ivy. Get ready. This is the last try.
Poison ivy under bushes. Poison ivy under trees.
Trees.
Poison ivy in the forest.
Rhymes with
Poison ivy on my knees.
knees.
What's your knees?
Knees.
Poison ivy makes me scratch, scratch, scratch.
Itch and scratch my knees.
Poison ivy by the daisy. Poison ivy by the rose.
Rose.
Poison ivy by the flower.
Rhymes with
That I smelled with my nose.
nose.
Poison ivy makes me scratch, scratch, scratch. Itch and scratch my nose.
What's next?
Poison ivy on the prairie.
Let's see if this one works.
Poison ivy on the farm.
Farm.
Poison ivy on the pasture.
Rhymes with
Poison ivy on ivy. Poison.
It's not gonna do it. Your arm.
Poison ivy in the forest.
Uh-oh.
Poison ivy on the that I smelled with my nose.
Smelled with my nose happened again. So we're gonna
With
stop
my
it.
nose. Poison.
Let's see what happens. Nope, we're gonna stop it. Makes me scratch, 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 itch and scratch my nose. And it finishes with poison ivy over here, poison ivy over there, poison ivy that I sat in when I fell upon my rear. And it finishes with poison ivy makes me scratch, 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 itch and scratch my rear. Isn't that silly? It's for body parts. Your nose, your arm. What about these ones? Your elbow, your knees. You guys know a lot of them. How many more can you do? I'll see you tomorrow, friends. Sorry our music didn't work. Bye-bye.